Gold prices rising, markets falling, and world leaders cutting tariffs and taxes, all because of Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs. The US president is planning massive import levies aiming to rake in a staggering 6 trillion annually. With only a few hours to President Trump's address, markets are already reacting. For example, gold prices have hit record highs with spot gold rising 0.6% to some $3,128 an ounce. Businesses are scrambling and key trade partners are bracing for the impact. Even Israel has preemptively scrapped duties on US imports ahead of Trump's big announcement. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Donald Trump has made one thing crystal clear, and that is the tariffs are coming. What's still unclear is that how high, how wide, and how soon. Since taking office, Trump has slapped tariffs on Chinese imports, steel, aluminium, and even some of the goods coming in from Canada and Mexico, its neighboring countries. Now he's about to announce a sweeping new set of tariffs, calling it, and I quote, Liberation Day tariffs. The White House has been tight-lipped about the exact numbers, but we have some clues. During his campaign, Trump floated the idea of a 10% tariff on all the imports coming in. At times, he even hinted at 20% or in some cases as high as 60% on Chinese imports. More recently, he talked about reciprocal tariffs, meaning if a country charges the US with a certain rate, the US will hit them back with the same rate. And here's where it gets even more messier. Trump's team isn't just holding at the tariffs. They are also considering other policies like VAT, that is value addition tax, that some countries use, making it even harder to predict what will happen next. Officially, the list of affected countries hasn't been confirmed, but Trump has hinted at a blanket approach, meaning tariffs could hit every country, every trading partner of the United States. But insiders say the focus will be on the so-called dirty 15 countries that the US believes have unfair trade practices. The list likely includes China, Canada, Mexico, Japan, Germany, South Korea, India, Italy, France, Brazil, Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Even key US allies like China and the European Union aren't safe. Trump recently said, and I quote, "Friends has been oftentimes much worse than foe." So who actually pays the price? Well, US businesses importing foreign goods unless they can shift production to the United States, which let me tell you isn't easy or cheap. American customers will also bear the burden as businesses pass those extra costs onto them through higher prices. Now, foreign economies that rely on US trade are also at risk. India, for example, could take a $3.1 billion hit, possibly reducing its GDP by 0.1%. But here's the real risk, a global trade war, as other countries might retaliate with their own tariffs. The stock market shakeup as investors are already fleeing to safe haven assets like gold. A possible US recession as higher costs could slow down the customer spending and the business growth. Trump argued that these tariffs will boost American manufacturing and fund his tax cuts. But on the other hand, critics, including economist Robert Rich, calls them, and I quote, a massive transfer of wealth to the very top. So will Liberation Day free America from bad trade deals, or will it send the economy into chaos? We will find out in next couple of hours.